Welcome live here tonight on Checkered Flag Interactive. We've got the Hardline Racing League here tonight as we are getting ready to go racing here at Talladega Superspeedway, as these drivers are going to go head-to-head here in their trucks, and it's going to be a good one here. We've got these guys 75 degrees for the Plan 9 Reloaded 199 here at Talladega. Live on Checkered Flag Interactive, it's going to be Steve Bonesteel and Shane Doherty up in the booth here. This race is brought to you by, well, none other but plenty of sponsors. I mean, they're all there on your screen, so you can take a look at them yourself there. As it's kind of cloudy, Shane, here today. I was hoping to get a tan. I packed the suntan lotion, but I don't think it's going to be happening here as the clouds have rolled on in.
Yeah, Alabama's one of those states that usually you would expect to get a tan, but not today. Overcast skies, as you said, Steve, 75 degrees, so pretty much a typical day down here in Alabama, and these trucks down here at the Super Speedway getting ready to get this race underway here. Got about 2 minutes left in qualifying, and then we'll line them up and get tonight's event started. It's going to be 75 laps scheduled for tonight's event, and so far through qualifying, Bradley Burke is on the pole with Bradley Grant Davis and Corey Blevins, your top three here with just about a minute and a half left.
Yeah, with just a few more minutes left here in qualifying, Shane, going into a race like Talladega or even Daytona, I mean, relatively, they're the same type of racing here, and in these trucks, I mean, you're going neck and neck all the way around here. So these drivers are in store for plenty of action. They're going to have to keep their eyes and ears and everything in focus here tonight. Your spotter's going to be yelling in your ear all night long, so there's plenty of things that are going to be going on here. You got to manage your truck temperatures, your own tempers, and you also got to, make sure you set yourself up with someone that's going to help you get down to victory lane. Now with just a few more minutes before we get down to the grid, let's throw it off to the infield for opening ceremonies. And as always, big tip of the hat to the crew down there in the infield and in the production booth, getting everything set and ready for these races week in, week out, nightly basis, I guess, actually, here at Checkered Flag Interactive. So, Shane, The drivers are getting down onto the grid. We're going to get a ring in with our in-race reporter, Cody Tabor, here in just a moment. But before we do, what do you think these drivers are going to be doing here early on?
Well, it's a 75-lap race, Steve, and I think, as we usually see at super speedways, they're going to be going from the get-go here. When the green flag drops, you're probably going to see a nice pack form. Guys will try and build some chemistry with the other drivers in this field and maybe see if they can rely on guys later in the race when we get down to it that maybe they can hook up and go to the front. So look for these guys to go after it early on.
And Shane, I do believe you're catching up with Cody yourself here, so I'm going to toss it over to you.
Yeah, here with our in-race reporter, Cody. And Cody, you're going to roll off 15th here tonight. What are your overall thoughts here before we drop the green?
Our plan is to stay in the back till middle part of the race and just keep the truck overall clean throughout the race and hopefully pick up a win tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a long one out tonight, 75 laps scheduled. When do you think is going to be the time to where, when you're done hanging out in the back, when you have to go to the front?
Anytime you're racing a super speedway race, it's going to be within the last 20 to 15 laps. So that's probably, our go time will be 20, and then when we start moving up the front of the field, will be 15 laps to go. So I just hope we can get up there to the front and stay up there. So.
All right, wish you the best of luck, Cody. Go get him.
All right, thank you, Shane.
And as the field makes their way down the back straightaway here, Steve, got 20 trucks that took time here. Got a couple in the back that did not, that elected to start back there. So overall, it's going to be about a 23 truck field. So pretty decent field here for tonight. It's going to be a long race. Should see a lot of great racing action early, as I mentioned.
Yep, like I talked about here, the sun has mostly gone away, unfortunately. 75 degrees, about 95 track temp, getting close to 100 here. The sun, like I said, peeking away here. This race brought to you by the Bucky Burt Radio Show, 24 Designs, of course, and plenty more. The Plan 9 Reloaded, 199 here at Talladega, just moments away from getting down to the green flag. Our pace car driver, Brett Bodine, as always, doing a great job out there. He's going to be pulling it on down, and we're going to be getting the green here.
Bradley Burke's going to be the control car here on this initial start. He'll elect the inside lane there to his outside. Riley Grant Davis going to bring the field down. Start-finish line is after the tri-oval here at Talladega, one of the unique parts of this racetrack. So as they make their way down the tri-oval here, we'll get ready for the green flag. Field coming to the air, and there's the green flag. We are racing here tonight in Talladega.
Field shifting up through the paces here, through the gears, getting up to speed. Quickly up to 150, 160, all the way to about 185 here in these C-Class trucks here in iRacing. Quickly, that number 11 out in front, Bradley Burke there, taking it to the outside line, hooking up. Michael Finlayson coming on his back bumper there. He's got a little bit of help from the 97 right there behind him, but as we head down to the corner, it's side by side.
Inside lines got through Jonathan Wall along with the 4 of Justin Krasinski there. And the NVIDIA Chevrolet on the inside. Also the Napa Chevrolet working hard, trying to make something happen. It's 3 trucks up top, 2 on the bottom, and now Finlayson falls back to the inside line. These guys pushing hard up front. They're putting a pretty big gap on the rest of the field.
A lot of jostling for position here early on. Bradley Burke up on the high side. Jonathan Wall there in the Napa machine down the inside line. Got that number 4 of Krasinski on his rear bumper here. The 24 Designs trucks up on the high side there, hooking it up for the hot second there, trying to get a little bit of a run there behind Bradley Burke. Bradley's up there. Michael Finlayson fell off that lead pack. Now he is back there. He's got that number 94 of Kevin Fetty on his back bumper, and looks like for now they're just kind of falling in line here, trying to figure out where they want to be. 75 laps, of course, on the board. That's well over 175 miles, just over. So there's 199 miles if you want to be exact here. But these guys around here, you know, early on, first you got to get a feel for your truck, because while you can practice all week long, you simply just don't get quite the feel as you're in the race situation here, as we're 3 wide for this lead here. Take a look at that, Shane. We've got that number 4 NVIDIA machine using the side draft here. He is taking it all the way up to that outside lane. Going to swoop back down in the middle there, as these guys are 3 abreast for that top couple of spots there. That number 11's in front of those 24 Designs and AOSN machines there. And woo baby, this is early on action here at Talladega.
Yeah, these top 6 are making it clear, and that's that they want to battle for this lead, and they really want to get to the front and lead some laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And look at that gap. It's almost 2 seconds back to the 7th place truck of Michael Finlayson there. But these top 6 now, 3 by 3, 3 on the inside, 3 on the outside. Here's it looks like Jonathan Wall is going to lead this lap.
Yeah, and you're watching it all live here tonight on Checkered Flag Interactive, your premier source for iRacing broadcasts here. They get it all sorted out for the time being, 2 by 2 up at the front of the field. So this is pretty standard super speedway racing, but that second pack is starting to get a little bit of momentum, and expect a rubber band effect to get going here pretty soon.
Yeah, these guys up front, they can push all they want. Eventually, Steve, they're going to have to cool those motors down. Don't want to blow it up too early. We've seen that in several other races here at Talladega. You can get carried away with trying to make something happen, but then at the same time you end your race early with a mechanical failure. These guys up front, they're going for it, but eventually they're going to back off here, and we should see the rest of the field come back into the picture.
Yep, and as the rest of the field, you know, here's the big difference between the 2 packs, Shane, right now. I think they'd be pretty identical on pace if they could just get a little more organized. You see them rolling up and off of that corner there, a little bit of contact up in the front.
Yeah, a little contact there. Everyone saves it there. Looks like Levi Zelensky goes to the inside apron there, the 97 Scott's truck, and he's going to save it. That was a little bit of a jostle there up front. Everyone is good nonetheless.
Hopping on board with Levi Zelensky there on that inside. Got a little bit of damage, it looks like, from that there. Just a titch on that right quarter panel. So going to take a moment, get resituated here, and they'll all get single file in that lead pack and probably take another stab at it once they get that momentum built up, and you know, once that wet spot in their undies kind of stops bothering them there. But it's going to be a while for that one here, as that could have been big. And just as I say that, Wall's going to hop up to that high side with Zelensky all over his rear bumper here, and they're going to try to make that run using that side draft, and they're doing a solid job right now.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I think if you're Levi, you're just going to have to calm down, as you said, Steve, get resituated, and if you want to still go for the lead, go for it. He does have some right front damage. Talladega is all about aerodynamics, but I think in the situation he's in right now, with his strong draft off the 2 of Jonathan Wall, that damage really shouldn't be that big of a factor there for Levi. So these top 6, nonetheless, after all that chaos, still 2.5 seconds in front of the entire field.
It's really puzzling me right now, Shane, taking a look at this second pack, on why they are not getting situated to the point where they can take a run towards this lead pack. It looks like they finally got a couple of drivers trying to do so here at the front. That's going to be the 18 of David Richard and Chad Payne. They've got a little bit of a run there. They've actually got the first 5 trucks down to the single file type of line there. That involves Kevin Fetty, Ray Richard, and Ethan McColgan. It looks like, oh, we have a wreck in that front pack, Shane. Oh, boy. Oh, and they're coming back down the track. They're locking up the brakes. That is crazy.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a replay on that, but there you go, guys. Going for the lead, and something goes bad. We'll key up a replay and see exactly what happened.
Oh gosh, it looks like maybe a little bumper hook. I kind of didn't catch that there. We'll take another look at it. The 25 of Riley Grant Davis gets caught, and then he pulls right down in front of those cars, man. Oh, that could have been so much worse. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I think ultimately what starts it here is the 24. Corey Blevins goes high, gets into the 2, and also the other trucks down there, and they all go around. And as you said, Steve, Riley Grant Davis, just an innocent victim, gets a little bumper hook, and he goes around in front of the entire field. Luckily, does not get slammed.
Taking a look up from the chopper, Shane, I see what caused it there. The Scott's machine had a little bit of like a lag bubble around it, or either that or down on that inside line Corey Blevins did, and it kicked him to the outside, and that's what got that started off there. We'll take one more look at it. We'll try to do the chase cam just to see what it looks like there.
Nonetheless, it's going to be a very difficult possible end of the race for some of these guys. They have great trucks. They got some damage. Riley Grant Davis has been on and off pit road. And also Jonathan Wall, he's got some severe damage on that truck. So tough break for these guys battling for the lead early on.
Take this moment here, take a look at where everyone stands. Doesn't look like too many drivers are going to really make much progress on pit road. I mean, you can only do so much. Strategies pretty much across the board. Take either 2 tires or no tires early on here, and you know, that's really how Talladega and Daytona works. We'll have to see how those cars that got hooked into that first wreck there, how they make a comeback. Doesn't look like the damage is too awful, but it also, like you said, Shane, this plays all about your aerodynamics and whatnot, so they might be in a little bit of trouble here. We're going to take this moment. We're going to head off to a quick side-by-side commercial break. When we come back, we've got the restart for you here live on Checkered Flag Interactive.
With our experience of computer graphics, 24 Designs can make you a customized graphic that fits your needs. With graphics for a website, we will make you a logo that fits your company at an affordable price. iRacing paint schemes are also our specialty and can be designed however you would like. If you need another type of online graphic, we can take care of those needs as well. Just contact us by going to www.24-designs.com and we will set you up with the best we have to offer. 24 Designs, where we design for you in mind.
Contact one, and who will it be coming across the line? It will be Corey Hoover.
Coming through the corner, they hit!
They get together! Onto ourselves, Mike Dyson together, and they're all wrecking behind them, but
Field doubled up behind the Ford First Mustang pace car here, and the pace car lights are off, and we will get this green flag coming to lap number 12 out of 75 here for the Plan 9 Reloaded 199 here at Talladega Super Speedway. And we had our first caution of the night. Some contact there, possibly a little bit of lag got involved. Sent a couple of drivers around battling for the top spot here. And that is the risk that you take when you give it your all here, when you're fighting for that top spot, especially early on. Pace car's down already. We wait for the green flag. It's in the flag stands. Guys, it's in his hand here. He's waving it. We're back to racing here at Talladega.
Top 5 stayed out into that last caution have not come to pit road. Includes Chad Payne, Mike Donahue, Robert McFarland, Eddie Baker Jr., and also David Keynes. Your entire top 5 trucks did not come to pit road, so they're obviously on a different strategy compared to the leaders. So the field makes their way pretty much single file through turns 1 and 2.
Well, we'll have to see how many drivers up in that front pack decide to keep it single file. They're shaking it out a little bit there. That's going to be the 00 machine. He's hopping. That's Eddie Baker. He's got some help on the outside, and I take that back. That's not help. That number 18 of David Richards just staying out there, and that 00 machine just hops back down to the inside line. Michael Finlayson making a little bit of motion in the ocean back there, hopping to the outside line, and not really getting much help from behind there. That number 24, Corey Blevins, in the back of the field right now. And after that early caution, you know, be careful here after being involved in something early on. You got to get your bearings reset and everything good there. And then taking a look, looks like Finlayson's hooked up with David Richard, and not really sure what that was, but Finlayson's just going to take it 3 wide down the back straight. And wow, that was interesting.
Yeah, he must have thought he had a run, and he's going to try and take it down the back straightaway 3 wide for a second, and so far everyone's good there, still single file pretty much the lead.
3 wide, back in the pack a little bit there, that 44 of Ray Richard. Just trying to figure out where to go. Got Corey Blevins behind him there on his outside. He's got, that's going to be the number 9. Oh, huge wreck. Huge wreck.
Huge wreck, 9's flip. We got trucks spinning everywhere. This is a huge wreck, ladies and gentlemen. They'll trade away here. Caution's out.
Not even sure where to start with that one here. Taking a look. Looks like it started on the front row of the field there. Michael Finlayson involved. The number 9 goes flipping. Oh man, our in-race reporter, the number 4, or actually no, that's Justin Krasinski involved. I do believe Cody was able to sneak on by. Oh, we got to take a look on board here with that number 9, see what happened.
Yeah, it started with the battle for second here. It looks like Chad Payne got together with Richard, and those guys went around, and then huge ride for the 9 of Chad Payne. He pretty much flips a couple times, goes around. Several other trucks get involved. pretty much the big one that you see at super speedways right there.
Very, very violent wreck here early on here. I mean, that just took out about 5, 6, 7 trucks possibly. Taking another look at it yet, just gets turned up into that outside wall, flipping down the front stretch there. Drivers going all over the place, man. That is a tough one.
And that'll most certainly end the night for some of those guys, unfortunately, on different strategies. And some of those guys had come to the front because they stayed out and unfortunately involved in a wreck early on there. Definitely not the way they wanted to end their night.
What the?
And I'm trying to catch up down here at the infield care center with Michael Finlayson, driver, the number 42 there. Man, I tell you what, up on that outside line, your machine just had nowhere to go. Take us through what happened.
Oh yeah, everybody was all over the place on that restart. I mean, we had a big checkup, and then the 43 was all the way up in turn 3, and I think the 18 and 43 got together coming up and down in the tri-oval, but I finally got a run on the outside. I started 4th, and I fell way back to 18th. There was something wrong with my trip or something like that, but I finally got back up there on the high side, and for half a lap later that happened, so kind of sucked.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's often how super speedway racing works here. But with that right there, are you done for the night? Looked like a hard hit, or are you going to go out there maybe run for some positions or anything like that?
I have no clue, but I'm pretty sure I blew the engine, so it's probably going to be about half an hour with repair, but I'll watch the broadcast and watch along with you guys, and I'll be back on track maybe.
Alright, Michael, well, thanks for coming to talk to us. Good to see that you're okay there. Hard hit into that outside safer barrier, but unfortunately, that's how the beast of super speedway racing often works.
And several trucks were involved in that wreck, had been down pit road here several times. The crew's trying to obviously work on the trucks, trying to improve those aerodynamics. Anytime you get involved in a wreck here at Talladega Super Speedway, it's a big deal when you get fender damage. Not really a big deal on short tracks, but you need that truck to be as aerodynamic or efficient, I should say, as possible, and just make it to where it can stay in the draft, and you'll have a chance to win. But most of these guys who hit hard, and you just talked with one of those guys, Mike Mason, their day pretty much done, and I think a victory for them right now would be to get back on the track.
The track at Talladega Super Speedway has been around for quite some time. Broke ground in May 1968, opened September in 1969, so it took about a year to get that whole track built originally. Just over $4 million here. And of course, Bill Ward, and longtime NASCAR well-known name, at least in the last name there, William France Jr. or Sr. actually. He'd been around, designed this, and their contracting crew put it together. You know, there were a lot of issues here getting this track built up originally, and you know, it went a long ways, and it's evolved over the years. Recently repaved, or well, I guess not recently, but about 10 years ago. And that completely changed how this track worked, and a few years later, of course, then Daytona was repaved, and since then, super speedway racing has forever been different here in the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah, you can kind of remember the days when you had to change tires in super speedways because the track was so rough, it was so hard on the tires, and now with the smoother surfaces at both super speedways and NASCAR, that's not really a huge issue anymore. And Talladega, I think 2006 was the year, Steve, that they repaved it, and since then it's just been a beast of a track. We've seen fantastic racing, 3-4 wide, and huge pack racing that really we didn't see a whole ton of before, but now kind of see more of. And especially these trucks, they usually find a way to all kind of be in the same place at the same time when the end of the race comes. So unfortunately, those guys out of the race not going to see that, but as this race progresses, we're going to see more and more trucks up at the front trying to make something happen here and try and steal the win.
Yeah, and we've seen some absolutely stunning finishes here at this Talladega Super Speedway. From Carl Edwards being sent up into the grandstands to run across the finish line there. I do believe that was 2009, 2010, Shane. And then, you know, we got to go way back in the history book here. It was, I do believe, it was way back when Bill Elliott set that lap time. That was the same year that Bobby Allison went flying up in midair, and he went also into the catch fence, and that was a crazy, crazy wreck. And that's also when NASCAR decided to impose restrictor plates on these machines all the way across the board, reducing the speeds, reducing the horsepower by about 150 to 200 depending on the car. And I really have to say, this whole thing of super speedway racing has taken so many different evolutions, and I'm excited to see where it goes next, because it's really, I think it's been in a valley, Shane. Super speedway racing is just not quite what it used to be.
It really isn't, and especially these new trucks with the introduction of the new truck bodies here last year, or a couple years ago, it's definitely, these trucks are becoming more aerodynamic. It's no longer your typical SUV or really pickup truck's body style. It's more of a race car, and it's more becoming more of that. We're starting to see higher speeds here, even with that restrictor plate on the truck, on the Sprint Cup and Xfinity cars as well. So I think as time goes on, these trucks will continue to go in that direction. We'll see the speeds pick up, and really, I think that's going to create for some more exciting racing. So we'll just have to see here in the coming years.
Pace car light should go off here for the Plan 9 Reloaded 199 here at Talladega Speedway, the Hardline Racing League 24 Designs Cup Series. And we are getting ready here. The pace car lights did in fact go off, so we are about 30 to 60 seconds away. Well, actually here these laps are a lot longer than that, so we're about a minute and a half away from getting back down to the green flag action, Shane. We've seen a pretty exciting kickoff to this race here. A couple of huge wrecks, or at least this last one was. The first one only involved 2 vehicles there. Could have been a lot worse. But now with about 5 trucks significantly damaged out of this race, what do you think we're going to see here as this field gets a little bit smaller? Do you think it'll be more competitive, or do you think it'll spread out?
Well, I think definitely the guys who made it through that wreck, Steve, they're more toward the front. I'm talking about Ethan McCubbin and Judd Danielson, and even Kevin Fetty a little bit. Those guys are more toward the front than they were before that wreck. So if they want to go for the lead, they have that chance now, or they might drop back like they've been for most of the race, and that can include your second place starter on this restart here, Bucky Burt, as well. So we'll just have to see. All these guys toward the front, they have that lead and chance, and anytime you can lead at Talladega Super Speedway, that's a pretty big deal, especially in a broadcasted race. So I think we'll see some nice racing action here once the pace car pulls off.
And of course, you're watching it here live on Checkered Flag Interactive, your source for premier iRacing broadcast here as the field is rolling off of Turn 4. The pace car will be pulling back down to pit road, and it will unleash the beast behind it here. We've still got plenty of horsepower down on the track. There goes Brett Bodine, and we await for the green flag.
Bradley Burt can be on the inside there. Bucky Burt on the outside. The green flag is out. We are back racing here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Down the back straightaway here, cleanly double file up at the front of the field here. Not as much jostling as we've seen on these first 2 restarts. Looks like that number 5's got a little bit of a run there, got some help as well from behind, but it's going to be a little bit before we really see anything change. Bradley Burke in that number 11 has that 88 right there behind him. Going to come across the stripe. Looks like it's going to be almost a dead even time, but that number 5 machine is going to come across him first there.
Yeah, I definitely will, and these guys pretty side-by-side, or pretty close side-by-side. No one's really pushing, but they're staying close to each other in a pack to kind of use that draft and keep themselves wound up there on the inside, or outside, seeing some other drivers get into the mix here. Riley Grant Davis, that truck involved in a caution. The first caution out of 2, he's back up toward the front despite some front end damage. So we'll just have to see how that works out for him.
Took a look on board with Bucky Burt there, driver the number 5. He got 1 lap led there, and it's going to come down almost an instant replay of the last lap. Will he be able to lead another one? Oh, it's going to be another close one. I think he may have got that one there, but this is really interesting here the second time around. This field is a lot more bunched together than it was that first time. You know, Shane, with all these drivers under one household, one roof basically, they're all fighting for the same room. And you know, I think once again we might get another one of those classic Talladega big ones if they keep racing like this, as it looks like they're trying to get clear. Bucky Burt is clear, but he wants to stick with that number 85, and he's gonna kind of think about coming down. He's kind of caught in the middle there, trying to be Jeff Gordon, send it to the middle, and he'll swing back up to the high side there after killing some Bradley Burke momentum down on the inside line. Hard racing here on lap 21.
Yeah, definitely. I think the guys who were up toward the front, the initial start really pushed hard and got away from the rest of the field, and now they're kind of backed off, and the guys who were toward the middle, the back half of the field, are trying harder to stay up front, maybe pushing their truck more than they have before in this race, and that's pretty much created this pack. And right now they're pretty stable. They're not really pushing anybody. If they are, they're, like I still got some, there is plenty of movement up there in the front pack, especially the outside line there. So as they come up on a lap truck here, we'll just have to see as this race goes on. Maybe these guys try and go a little bit harder here for the lead. Still hard battling for the lead here as Bucky Burt does go to the inside. He will block the run from Bradley Burke, leaving the 85 of Judd Danielson all by himself up there. He's got the 94 of Kevin Fetty. They're going to try and get together and try and make something happen in the outside lane here. We're currently working lap 23 of 75. Steve, we're almost a third of the way through this race already, and so far we've seen plenty of action.
Yeah, the field really organized right now, and if you add 50 laps to this is what I want the field to look like when we're coming across the stripe for the final couple of laps. And this place at Talladega is so wide. If you can keep that truck steady, you can fit it 3, 4, and even I've done it 5 wide. It's a tough one, but it's possible here. So let's just keep our eyes on this here as Bradley Burke's navigated his way back up to that lead, back up and around that number 5 machine. Will he be able to stay there? We'll only be able to wait and see. And it's early on. Pit stops will come down the road eventually, about 30 laps out still. So there's still some time on that standpoint, but there's a lot of racing to be done here at Talladega. And these guys right now, they're putting on a good show, but you have to ask yourself, are they putting on a good show too early or not?
Yeah, definitely. As long as they don't get together and we see another caution, I'd say it's pretty good. In terms of tires, not really a big deal on these trucks. It's going to be fuel and fuel strategy. When do you pit, and how early can you pit to ensure yourself that you can make it to the end here without a caution, maybe even with a caution. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out. Everyone in this pack trying to stay as close as they can to the leader, just in case if we do see green flag pit stops, if they don't lose the draft and fall way back and out of contention. So far though, a little bit of front end damage, or I should say left front damage to the 11 of Bradley Burke, not really hindering his progress, and he's up there leading this race on the inside line.
Still side by side, looking really, really stout right now. Oh, the number 5, Bucky Burt, down to the inside line, possibly overheating there. That number 5 machine's going to have to fall back up into the pack, and oh, that's going to be a tough one there. He's probably going to lose the draft. Yeah. Oh, man, that is heartbreaking there for Bucky Burt.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Either, like you said, Steve, the truck either overheating or he wanted to get out of the front of the pack. I don't really know what happened there, but nonetheless, he's going to fall way out of contention here. We've got trucks almost riding the wall up there in the oval way back there. The double zero, Eddie Baker Jr. and some other guys back there as well. Almost 3 wide here for round 5th. Definitely trying to make something happen now.
And hopping up there, making it 3 wide. That's when you know it's game on. Almost looking 4 wide there as that number 4 is peeking his NVIDIA nose in there. And nobody's going to go for that business right now. Here is that double zero machine once again. That's Eddie Baker Jr. up on the outside wall there, trying to find his way back down the inside line. Coming down the front straightaway here, coming towards Tri-Oval. And once again, we have that Scott's machine up there, making a little bit of a ruckus. That number 97 of Levi Zielinski is going to come across the stripe, lead that one lap right there. And this has been really, really exciting right now as we watch these guys. Bradley Burke's been shuffled into the mix there, and Riley Grant Davis, driver number 25, we saw him involved in an accident earlier on. Now he's in front of this field. Oh boy, Shane, this is getting good.
And there we go on the outside, 3 wide. Eddie Baker Jr. and David Caines working that way high line against the wall, trying to make something happen. Bradley Burke, he's stuck in the middle. He's got no help, but still staying in the top 5 somehow. You see the 25 of Riley Grant Davis with all that damage and being involved in that wreck, now up to the lead and leading his first laps of the evening. So good job there for him, and the rest of these guys try and settle it out here behind.
Yep, coming up on some more lap down traffic. Bucky Burt did actually lose the draft here, so he's got a lot of work to do here tonight. He's going to need some luck as well, as looks like that outside line's going to get really, really crowded here, coming up on Corey Blevins. Oh boy, nowhere to go there, and they have to back out of that one like a bat out of hell down to the inside line, and that'll break things up on that outside for a little while here at least. We'll have to see how things look over the next few laps. So that right there, that could have been ugly. Drivers, of course, very, very careful right now, trying to make sure that their trucks are around for lap 75, as we've still got a little bit over halfway left.
Yeah, definitely. Still a long way to go here for these guys. We've seen plenty of racing action, but there's still a lot of laps to be turned around this track. And if confirmed, the 4 truck there, second truck on the inside of Justin Krzyzewski, he is 2 laps down right now. So that is not for a position. He's just trying to stay up front here, maybe try and get one of those laps back manually, or at least be a truck to, see some cautions, maybe get back on the lead lap and try and challenge for this thing before it's over. But still, pretty good run there for Riley Grant Davis on the inside as Levi Zielinski makes the charge on the outside. Almost huge contact with Bradley Burke up there.
Watching the Plan 9 Reloaded 199 here at Talladega Speedway, live on Checkered Flag Interactive. Steve Bonesteel, Shane Doherty in the booth. Crank it up. as always, enjoying all the sights and sounds brought to you by the iRacing Motorsports Simulator here, and it's pretty awesome, Shane. Let's just not lie about it. It's some of the best out there, as these guys are still going at it, double file up in front of the field.
And iRacing, the source for online simulator racing, and they've got so many features and tracks and cars. It's amazing. And if you're watching this broadcast, go to iRacing.com and check it out. As always, they got promotions and stuff. When you sign up, you get some cars, some membership reduced, I guess, so you can pay a little bit less to try it out. So, as always, awesome racing action here on CFI, and these trucks making it around Talladega pretty fast as well. Speeds excess 190 plus miles an hour right now, is could be nearing pit stops, not really still close to those. Got to pull about 10-15 more laps until that happens, but still lots of great racing action up front. As you see, Levi Zelansky try and block, but they get into the wall there. He blocks the two into the wall there.
Oh boy, Shane, that could have been a very, very bad situation there, and you know, that 00 machine picked up some damage on that, so not really sure how happy he's. Oh boy, someone just put himself up into the wall. That's going to be the number 85. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing there. That's Judd Danielson, the 85 truck. He does a nice job of just kind of gathering it back up and not losing too many spots. He can hang on to the draft here, and we'll see what that truck's got for the rest of this race. But Bradley Burke back out front. He's got some assistance from the 25 of Bradley Grant Davis, and then besides that, really no other problems as we see a couple trucks peel down pit road.
Couple of trucks did go down pit road. Ethan McColgan went down, and I do believe actually that may just be the only car that went down, Shane.
Yeah, he had some contact with the wall, so maybe they had a tire up or maybe something else going on in that truck, and they go ahead and bring it down pit road. Not what you want to do coming down pit road here by yourself at a super speedway. He's going to be out of the draft, and certainly not what you want to see. He's going to probably lose some spots here because of that. Going to need a caution to stay on the lead lap.
Well, here as we're on lap 36, we're going to take this moment here, step away for a quick side-by-side commercial break. When we come back, we'll have green flag pit stops right up for you here. So don't go away. The Plan 9 Reloaded 199 here at Talladega Superspeedway returns in just a few moments.
With our experience of computer graphics, 24 Designs can make you a customized graphic that fits your needs. With graphics for a website, we will make you a logo that fits your company at an affordable price. iRacing paint schemes are also our specialty and can be designed however you would like. If you need another type of online graphic, we can take care of those needs as well. Just contact us by going to www.24-designs.com and we will set you up with the best we have to offer. 24 Designs, where we design for you in mind.
Contact one. And who will it be coming across the line? It will be Corey Hoover.
Coming through the corner, they hit!
Get together! On the ourselves, five dice together, and they're all wrecking behind them.
Back here at Talladega Super Speedway, now past halfway here, lap 42 now on the boards. Green flag pit stops have started, Shane, and what's really surprising me right now, we're not seeing groups of 2, 3, 4 drivers. I've seen a lot of single drivers pull it down pit road over the past few laps. Very intrigued by the strategy here imposed by some of these drivers. Possibly they don't have any indefinite drafting partners. I'm not really even sure, Shane.
Yeah, ideally when you come down pit road here at Super Speedway, particularly Talladega, you want to be at least in a pack of 2 or 3, and at the most you want to be in a huge pack, because that always helps your drafting abilities and helps the truck get around faster than being by yourself. As we see a group of 3 trucks come down pit road, that's more like it. But you definitely, if you come down pit road, you need a partner. You need someone to draft with, and those guys who came down with no one, they're losing time doing that. So we'll have to see how everything cycles through here, as you said, Steve, green flag pit stops continue.
Ryan Wright, for the first time here today, inside that top 5 in that number 66 machine. Kind of just running on a very relaxed pace right now, getting plenty of air to that number 66 up on the high side. The number 94 of Kevin Fetty's up there, and then on the number 32 of David Keynes has led a couple of laps so far, and he was a quiet feller for the majority of this race. And right now, taking a look, really intrigued, right? This number 66 is running where he is, running all the way up by that wall there, and yeah. I'm not really sure, Shane. He's way down on power, so I'm not sure what's going on, to be honest with you. He's about 10 miles an hour slower than the rest of the field.
Yeah, definitely something. I don't really know what's with that truck. He's in 5th right now because of the green flag pit stops. We'll just have to see as everything cycles through if he, I don't know, maybe gains some spots by staying out. But really, at a super speedway, you want to come down as early as you can. If you're in your fuel window, come down and take this chance to use it, because you probably won't lose a lap if you were in the main draft, or the main field draft when you came down pit road. So these guys staying out, they got the lead now, but we'll just have to see if being longer on the racetrack compared to everyone else really is an advantage.
Possibly having some type of issue down with that machine, so we'll just have to keep our eyes down on this one here. So you know, we're 45 laps into this one now. These drivers have about 3 to 4 laps of fuel left in the tanks. Should be good to go. They should be, and I say should be good to go at this point now. 5 ago would have been pretty darn close, but they should be good to take it to the checkered flag. Well, and they get all the fuel in these machines. So right now they're pushing up there. And number 2 Nap in a wreck earlier. believe, a couple laps down there, and that number 80, at least one. These guys probably diving it down. Looks like yes, everyone bringing it down.
Everyone else, pretty much, as you said, Steve, who had not come down pit road this time. It's a pack 4 truck. They're going to pull it to the inside of the road here. Should be fuel. Packed to the top, obviously. Could see some tires. Might see some 2 tires. I doubt we'll see 4 tires here. That's just not the most efficient way to see it, but you never know. That's not what these guys are feeling. And these guys, while they're on pit road, all these trucks who pitted earlier and are in a pack, they're going to come screaming down the front straightaway here, and we're going to see how everything really play out.
Yep, these drivers pulling up out of their pit stall there, a little bit crazy on pit road. Almost some contact there from that 00 machine. Well, that was a close one, that's for sure. And these guys, they're coming up on the track. The 24 is going to sneak on by. Oh boy, this could get a little bit sketchy. They're coming up. Oh boy, they're all over the place trying to get back up on the track there. 00 having some issues there. The rest of them trying to get up as well. So that was a thing.
Yeah, definitely. And while those guys pitted, they tried to get back on the track, had the problems there, but they watched some trucks blow by them here, and they are going to be the new leaders of Bradley Burke, Riley Grant Davis. Those 2 hooked up right now. They should be your new race leaders when everything cycles through, and I don't really see many trucks behind them that is really going to be in a main pack. So when everything is sorted out, it's going to be pretty spread out. I don't think we'll see a drafting pack at all. There'll be some trucks hooked up and some running by themselves.
Yeah, these 3 drivers there, that number 4, that NVIDIA machine, that's Justin Krzyzewski. He is not on the lead lap. He's actually 2 laps down, count him 2 right now. Not entirely sure what the issue was. I do believe he was involved in an earlier accident. Didn't get any substantial damage, so not entirely sure, Shane. The second pack of drivers has David Keynes, Levi Zelensky, Jonathan Wall, and then you have to look back another 4 seconds to Kevin Fetty, and then it's almost another 8 seconds to the 4th pack of drivers. So this field is substantially drawn out right now.
Yeah, definitely, and only 11 trucks being shown on the lead lap as we're almost to lap 50 here, would be the 2/3 race mark, and that's a big thing to consider here at a super speedway, to only have 11 trucks out of the 21 that started this race on the lead lap, and only the top 7 are within 10 seconds of your leader, Bradley Burke. So very spread out, and the guys who are in contention, well, it's only 3 of them within a second.
Taking a look, still these guys just running around 50 laps now. We're 2/3 of the way through this race. Not a lot going on the track. Bucky Burt there, after getting separated from the pack, he is in trouble. 1 lap down now, and number 5 led some laps earlier, and being where he is right now is a tough one.
Yeah, definitely, and that could be said for a lot of drivers as well. Down some laps, Robert McFarland, Eddie Baker Jr., Justin Krzyzewski's also up there in the front back. He's 2 down at the moment. also Corey Blevins and Mike Donahue, all down to the lap 2 leaders here as this race has progressed. And really, we are not down to many trucks left in this race, Steve, that have a good chance to win if we don't see a caution. The top 6 within 5 seconds of your leader, but that is it. And we're just going to have to see how everything plays out here if we get a caution or if we don't.
We're going to take another quick commercial break here, get things reset for the final portion of this race, so don't go away. We've got plenty more from Talladega here in just a few moments.
Checkered Flag Interactive 24 Designs in the Checkered Flag Racing League presents. The Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness 212 at Talladega Superspeedway, Tuesday, August 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern on CFI.
With our experience of computer graphics, 24 Designs can make you a customized graphic that fits your needs. With graphics for a website, we will make you a logo that fits your company at an affordable price. iRacing paint schemes are also our specialty and can be designed however you would like. If you need another type of online graphic, we can take care of those needs as well. Just contact us by going to www.24-designs.com and we will set you up with the best we have to offer. 24 Designs, where we design for you in mind.
Back here live, we've got 20 laps to go here at Talladega Speedway. Bucky Burke or Bucky Burt in the mix there, as Justin Krzyzewski is also in the mix. These guys aren't racing for position out there, but hey, they're duking it out anyhow.
Yeah, definitely, and it's kind of key because Justin Krzyzewski being out for your leader, Brian Wright at the moment, he's only 1 lap down compared to what he was 2 laps down, so it's important that he stays out front. If we get a caution, he would catch all the way back up to the field, and he can get by the 00 of Eddie Baker Jr. and the 43 of Robert McFarland. He could possibly get the lucky dog, so definitely Justin's got some reasons to race up there, but how about Brian Wright up there toward the front, leading some laps here, definitely showing some speed nonetheless in that 66.
Now, right now, our second place driver, Bradley Burke, is a little bit back there. And, you know, I looked up and saw that 66 earlier running a lot slower, but, you know, he's out there somehow in front of these guys, and that's impressive.
Yeah, I don't know if that truck is pitted yet. Maybe he's on a different strategy, but nonetheless, leading laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway and some TV time as well. So definitely good night here for Brian at the moment. He's staying in front of some of these cars. That's the 43 of Robert McFarland. Behind him, his drafting partner right now. He's currently scored 1 lap down, and now Krzyzewski behind him is 2 back down, 2 laps down. Then Bucky Burt at 1 lap down, and as you said, Steve, Bradley Burke, he's kind of falling off the pace a little bit, about a second back from the lead there with Riley Grant Davis as well.
Corey Blevins going another lap down here after being involved in some of that unfortunate early wrecks right there. And these guys, you know, you get damage, you ride around, and you know, you almost deserve a participation trophy just for driving around after your truck's been damaged. No, and just as things start to get a little bit boring, Justin Krzyzewski goes around in front of the field.
And the caution looks to be out.
Let's take a peek at that one there, see exactly what happened. And it looks like he's working with Bucky Burt, and it looks like possibly going to hop up to that outside line. That bumper tag there on that quarter panel, that's what'll do it there. Comes up on that number 5 machine and spins himself up into the outside wall. And looks like he got himself some significant suspension damage on that one, so his night will definitely be over now.
Yeah, tough break for all those guys battling toward the front, and any bumper something you see, and those guys get together there.
But what this does do, it changes everything for a lot of drivers out here. We've got 11 on the lead lap. An additional driver will get his lap back, so you know, there's still a lot of drivers that can duke it out. 11 drivers in a field for position, that makes a pretty solid pack right there. We're going to go back to green with about 12 laps to go, so this is going to be a good one. Cody, it's Steve Bonesteel up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
I got you, Steve.
Well, now with this caution coming the way it does, it changes everything down on the track right now, and that number 3 machine is suddenly back in the game. Oh, what has the racing been like out here today? Is oh boy, that number 88 slid it in there like no other, coming in there behind you.
The racing's actually been pretty good. I mean, we went a lap down earlier on a pit stop because we kind of got on a pit strategy of trying to pit earlier, and this caution just changed everything. I mean, we was about 5 laps short, so hopefully we can get the number 3 Carolina Simworks Silverado back up in first place again.
Well, with this caution, like I said, it comes at the end of the race. That really breaks it apart for the last, probably, if we're going to go back to green, I do believe with about 12 laps to go. So that puts a lot of the field back in competition. You got to find a drafting partner, but there are a lot of drivers that have gotten damaged throughout the race, and they're no longer in it. So how do you figure out who you want to work with here?
Well, our plan's kind of working with Brian Wright in the thing because he don't have a lot of damage, and obviously he's led a lot of the race. So we're going to try to get up here and work with him. We've been talking over here in the chat and everything. So look for the 3 and 66 to be working together.
Alright, well, before we get you back up here for this restart, who do you have to thank?
Well, got to thank Carolina Simworks, 24 Designs, Plan 9 Reloaded, iCar, and also you guys for broadcasting the race.
Alright, Cody, well, best of luck here on this restart. It's going to get good. There's still a chance for another big one with 11 cars. Well, actually about 13, 14 that'll still be out there in a pack, so anything can still happen here at this juncture of the race.
Yes, it can.
Back up to you and Shane. In the booth, Shane. In the Shane booth. Oh, boy.
Yeah, definitely be cool if I had my own booth. But nonetheless, 13 cars on the lead lap here for this next restart. And currently your leader is the 97 of Levi Zelensky, and we'll have to see how that all plays out. He's got guys like Rally Grant Davis behind him. Also, Ray Richard, after being involved in a wreck, he's up back toward the front. And of course your pole sitter Bradley Burke sits there in 4th, with Brian Wright having a surprisingly good run there. He's running 5th right now, so we'll have to see on this restart how aggressive guys want to be. You don't want to go too early, but at the same time, it's time to go for the lead, so you don't want to lose any ground.
Yep, I do believe we've got 2 to go on the pace car. That'll give us just a few moments here. We're going to hop off for a quick commercial break. And when we come back, boys, it's going to get good here. And, you know, what are you going to say? We're here live at Talladega Super Speedway for the Plan 9 Reloaded 199. And it's only going to get better. we're back here live. Pace car lights have gone off, Shane, and we are rolling here, getting ready to get this thing kicked back off.
Yeah, not going to have many laps left when we do as well. Pace car pulls off. Levi Zelensky, the control car on the inside line with Rally Grant Davis up there on the high side. Going to lead the field to green as they make their way through the tri-oval. The green flag getting ready to fly. There it is. We're back to green flag racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway.
For what could be the final time of the night, these trucks on top of each other on this restart. And if you want to start making some moves, you got to get your truck wound up, but then you got to wait a little bit because you make your move too soon and you put yourself right on an island where you could get yourself hung out to dry later on. So be careful here, but make sure you make it to lap 75.
Yeah, we almost had a big wreck there. A couple trucks checked up, but nonetheless, they're all going to gather it back up. And now Rally Grant Davis to the lead, and he is leading a couple trucks on the inside line, but don't look now, here comes the 94 of Kevin Fetty in the outside lane. He's trying to make something happen. Doesn't have much help, and he's going to fall back a little bit regardless.
First few drivers single file, and then you got those drivers hopping up to the outside line, you know, ready to figure it out, ready to make some moves here, but it's going to be a little bit longer before I think we start to see these guys really start pushing up there. And just as I say that, looking 3 wide all the way up there, that number 66 blinks, and that could get a little bit sketchy up there. He's got help from behind though, so the number 66 is moving up on the high side, not with Cody Tabor though, and that's going to be the number 32 giving him a push. That's David Keynes.
Yeah, those guys trying to make something happen, and they're figuring out here as we're getting the 10 to go this time by when they cross the stripe that you're going to have to make something happen, maybe get by a couple of these trucks and put yourself in a good situation. But they're way up against that wall in the tri-oval. You want to use some of that side draft off the trucks in the inside line to make ground, not really an advantage riding the wall, and almost a wreck there. So they tried to use some side draft a little bit too much there. David Keynes does a nice job keeping it off the trucks below him, and these guys really trying to make something happen to the outside, but nothing really doing.
Jonathan Wall reappearing up here in this front group of drivers. That number 2 machine pushing on the back of Ray Richard, and then Judd Danielson right there behind him. Everyone pretty much for the top 5, top 6 down on that inside line, just waiting, lurking, waiting for something to happen, maybe getting a chance with their drafting partner to hop up to the high side. There goes the number 97 of Zelensky. Doesn't get anyone going with him, so he'll pull it back down to that inside line. 3 wide there behind him there. David Keynes in the middle, that 66 all the way up to the outside wall. Brian Wright going to drop back down to that inside line here as they are not going anywhere as of yet.
All these guys are trying to put themselves in a situation to possibly get some help from behind and push themselves up to the lead and try and get by Rally Grant Davis and Bradley Burke. But those two up front, well, they know each other. We see them every Thursday night in the Upper Edge Racing League, Bradley and Rally, and so far they're doing a nice job up there tandeming for the lead and trying to put some space between themselves and the rest of this field.
Yeah, you know, Shane, though, you know just as well as I do that they're not really going to get any space. They're only going to keep the speed up, and that's all you can do here.
Yeah, they're going for it right now. You don't want to overheat your motor. You got to make it to lap 75 and a little bit beyond. You have to make it 75 around this track, and right now they've only done 67 of them, so we're just going to have to see when these guys really do turn it on and push to the end. It's going to be finding that sweet spot between pushing and then giving up a little bit and then pushing to the absolute end. That's what you want to do at a super speedway. You want to get to a certain point at the end of the race where you can lock on to the guy in front of you and you won't let go until the race is over. So I have to see how these guys are doing, but right now they're definitely pushing hard for the lead.
And I don't know if you flipped the switch or something, but all of a sudden that outside line just started picking up the pace and they are rolling up there. And that number 97 of Zelensky's got some help now from David Keynes. David Keynes giving him the push there. The number 3 of Cody Tabor, the last car in that main little group, and then they've got about a quarter of a second back to a secondary group there. They got to get that rubber band effect rolling, and they've got to do it pretty quickly. They're not in a bad position if they can get that pace pick back up. but if they fall back much further, they're going to be in trouble, and that's going to be a tough one to come back from. So these guys got to get themselves organized as quickly as possible. Bucky Burke's back there. He's 1 lap down, unfortunately, trapped where he is. And unless we get a caution, well, right about now, and he's not involved, he's going to be stuck there as they're jostling it around there for 5th position. Up and down the racetrack they go.
Yeah, there you go. That's Brian Wright. He's trying to make around to the outside, and once again, the outside not working well here. So we'll have to see how the rest of this race plays out. For those two on the inside, Bradley Grant Davis and Bradley Burke, are making the ground that they need to make right now. They're pushing as hard as they can, keeping the inside moving. And here comes David Keynes in the 32, though. He's making the ground to the outside, and we'll be here in turn 2.
Boy, is it getting good there. David Keynes down to the inside line. That's going to check that whole pack up, and that right there, we zoom all the way out, taking a look at it, coming up on a lap down car, and it looks like a couple of drivers in that second pack starting to make some motion, starting to pick up the pace here, so we might get to see a few more drivers added into the mix. Justin Krzyzewski allowing the field by on the apron there. And I tell you what, Shane, that only got things a little more crazy. Here is a little bit of contact. The 85 is sideways. Oh, coming back up the track, hard contact. That might be the race there.
I think that most certainly will be the race, and wow, they're really wrecking hard afterwards. See Cody Tabor also involved. That was the 85 of Judd Danielson, who had a really hard wreck there in turns 1 and 2, but wow, that is going to be a move proven to victory for the 32 of David Keynes. Took the lead that last lap, and I believe that was the first lap he led all tonight, and could be the most important.
It all got started there when that number 85 of Judd Danielson comes down a little bit on Bradley Burke, and that gets the truck unsettled. Then he comes down a little bit as Bradley Burke's trying to get that thing recollected, and unfortunately that just makes for a hard hit. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, you see it there. Starts to come down, some slight contact. The 11 gets it back up, and unfortunately they meet in the middle once again. Up the track, the 85 goes, taking out a multitude of drivers there. Hard hits. Krzyzewski already damaged, gets involved again. And just like that here, I do believe that will be the race. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, absolutely, but wow. I mean, when you get a truck down there and it goes up the track like Judd did, there's no way you can save it. You're along for the ride, and so was everyone else who was in the path, and that's a really tough break for a lot of those guys, especially Cody Tabor. He's really looking to have a great finish tonight, and I'm sure there's plenty of other drivers who wanted to come up here, possibly a top 5, and going to be disappointed after that wreck.
You know, Shane, I'm looking at it here. Caution came out with 5 laps to go. We've got this time. If we come across, that'll be 3. If we get to 2 to go this time by, ooh, it's going to be close. We'll have to see here.
Yeah, they would have to get the 2 to go, I believe. Yes, they'd have to get the 2 to go this time by. We won't know, really, until these drivers circle around. You can only tell with the pace car lights. Right now, it could be 2 to go. We could still have like 3 laps to go before we would be scheduled to go green flag racing again. And if that's beyond the lap 75 marker, then this race is over. So just have to find out and see as these guys circle around under caution.
Really, until then, it's just going to be the suspense for us. The drivers already know if it's over or not. So, you know, I don't know, Shane. I don't know.
But nonetheless, if this race is over, the move by David Keynes to the outside line to take the lead away from Bradley Grant Davis and Bradley Burke, that's going to be the story to talk about for this race, really. As he made that move, I don't believe he had led a lap at all, Steve, until he made that passed for the lead, and he was out front when that caution happened. So if this race is indeedly over, that 32 truck is going to take the victory.
And here, the moment we need to see pace car lights stay on, so it's over here at Talladega.
And the win's going to go here tonight to David Keynes, and there you go. It's the move of the race to take the victory home, and we see that quite often at super speedways. It seems like guys come out of nowhere to take the victory. It's not how many laps you led, it's that most important lap, lap 75 if you lead, and tonight David's most certainly going to lead that lap when they finish all these caution laps under caution. He'll be able to celebrate and take home a well-deserved victory.
And what could be the tentative final results there is Bucky Burke just wrecked in the back. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened there. He got into the wall off turn 2. We'll have to see.
And the number 5 machine coming up on the outside. He's got 24 on the inside there, and not really sure exactly what happened. Looks like he downshifted there and it over-revved on him.
As long as he stays on the lead lap, he'll record a top 10 finish. So, wow, some adversity under caution there, but we're about ready to take the white flag here as these guys work their way off turn 4.
Well, while we have a moment here before the field crosses the stripe, the only top 3 driver we'll be able to talk with will be Levi Zelensky here, driver the number 97. You were a wheelman out here tonight, Levi, but unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to...
it was...
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was real fun out here. I mean, we had a lot of fun. We had a damaged truck from the start of it, so we tried all we could.
Yeah, the racing looked really exciting out there for a little while. Looked pretty tough as a driver. Things were separated, and then we got all bunched back up.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't looking for that last caution. I was kind of hoping to be able to get there on the last lap and make a move. I mean, I've won 2 of these races. I've won Truck Race Daytona in their inaugural season, so I know what to do here. It's just I didn't get any help today.
Well, after Talladega, it's got a pretty interesting schedule still on the board. What are your thoughts on the upcoming races here?
Phoenix is going to be really interesting. Phoenix and trucks mix really well. I'm hoping to be there next week. I'm only trying to run here part-time when I can, but I love racing trucks, so...
Alright, Levi, well, before we head off here to take a look at the final results as the pace car will cross the stripe this time, who do you have to thank for making it happen?
I gotta thank Cody for having this league going right now. I'm also gonna thank my designer and my trucks and all that and all my schemes he does for me. Nathan Young Designs, he does a great job for everything. All in all, it's just a great job. You guys do a great job broadcasting, so I'm glad you guys came on board and broadcasted tonight's race. I hope we made it a lot of fun. I've tried to make it as interesting as I could. I'm up there trying to battle, make sure you guys get some good views over there, so that's all we tried to do tonight.
And we got some pretty good action up there, so again, thanks for coming up here and talking to us. Congrats on a top 3 finish, and it was a pretty exciting night anyhow, so can't really complain.
No, you can't. Thank you guys.
Well, Shane, the field's crossing the stripe, and we'll have the official results in just a few moments.
Yeah, David Keynes in the number 32 truck takes the victory here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway, and like I said, he made the move at the right time, and he's going to bring home the victory. Riley Grant Davis, Levi Zelensky just talked to him in third. Brian Wright, he led a couple laps in fourth, and then Jonathan Wall in fifth.
Our in-race reporter Cody Tabor, unfortunately involved in that last wreck and never was able to make it back to the front of the field. Final results: David Keynes, Riley Grant Davis, Levi Zelensky, Brian Wright, Jonathan Wall, and you've got Ray Richard, Bradley Burt, Robert McFarland, Ethan McColgan, and Bucky Burt to round up through the top 10. Taking a look, Eddie Baker, Justin Krzyzewski, Corey Blevins, Judd Danielson, Kevin Fetty, Cody Tabor, Mike Donahue, David May, David Richer, Michael Finlayson, and then just a couple more drivers, and I don't believe they took the green.
Yeah, final driver in the field was Chad Payne. He finished his 21st, 62 laps down. He was caught up in that huge wreck we saw for the second caution, so tough break for those guys. And nonetheless, race is over here tonight at Talladega, and David Keynes getting ready to burn it down on the front straightaway.
So after a night like that, Shane, here at Talladega, we saw these drivers go head-to-head, right at it. You know, what do you think was the deciding factor, other than the caution, on who was going to be up in front of the field? We saw pit strategy come into play at once. We saw some of the drivers get disconnected from each other, fall off the pace, and it was really up and down throughout the night. What do you think was the biggest factor here?
I think it's just playing your cards. I mean, we saw David Keynes didn't qualify, started 21st, didn't talk a single word about him in the first half of the race, and then all of a sudden he made his way toward the front, tried to make some moves on the outside, didn't work, finally got some guys to push him up toward the front, and then he made the move, ironically, at the same time, and it got him the lead. So David just in the right spot at the right time here tonight. He's enjoying the victory because of it.
And I do believe you've caught up with Cody Tabor down there in the infield care center before we wrap things up, Shane.
Yeah, Cody involved in that final caution there. Definitely not the way you wanted to end tonight. Kind of take us through what you saw from your vantage point.
Well, it kind of looked like the 85 kind of went down on the 11 of Bradley Burt there, and it just went haywire from there.
Yeah, definitely, and then you were all the way up against the wall, nowhere to go. Hard contact, ends your night here, going to finish 16th. Not the finish you were looking forward to, but still a long season to go. I know we go to Phoenix here, I believe the next race you guys do, so what are your thoughts on that race?
Well, I guess the thoughts going into Phoenix is setting eyes on the to go into the chase for the championship, because this is really going to hurt us right now. I mean, I say after the point standings gets updated, we'll probably fall out of the top 10. I think we were setting 7th in standings, so I guess we'll see how that is. We just got to get a few runs going at Phoenix and Iowa, and then I think Chicagoland, and that ends up into the chase, so hopefully we'll be able to make it this season.
Yeah, talk about the pressure. Definitely trying to get in the chase. You just can't avoid that, or you can't afford to have a bad week. And today, finished 16th, not the greatest. Is this gonna change your mindset from now until the chase on how you approach each and every race?
Well, my mindset kind of got changed last week because I had a bad race last week at Charlotte. I ended up coming back and finishing 13th in the race after having some PC issues. It's kind of changed my mindset of kind of being more focused and confident going into the race to make the chase. So I guess we'll see how the rest of the 3 races go.
Yeah, definitely. Before we head off air here tonight, is there anyone you want to thank here for tonight's efforts?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys first for putting on an awesome broadcast. Got to thank 24 Designs, Carolina SimWorks, Plan 9 Reloaded, and iCar for everything they do. iCar is a partner league that we're with, so they kind of helped put on the show tonight too, so a big shout out to them.
All right, and there is Cody DeBoer here bringing it home 16th.
All right, Shane, well, that will wrap it up for the night here at Talladega Super Speedway. You saw the night here live on Checkered Flag Interactive. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.